Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Welcome back to Vinzo, where we dive into the latest news and analysis that shapes our world. Today, we're looking at a developing story that could have significant implications for America's government: President Trump's planned meeting with top congressional leaders. As you might know, lawmakers are currently debating a government funding extension, which has become a pressing issue due to the approaching deadline. Now, this is where things get interesting. President Trump plans to meet with the top 4 congressional leaders at the White House on Monday, one day before the deadline to fund the federal government or face a shutdown. The parties have been in a standoff for days as Democrats, primarily in the Senate, have refused to offer the necessary votes to pass a funding measure that would keep the government open beyond Tuesday. Democrats are pushing for key health care provisions, including an extension of subsidies and reversals of Medicaid cuts provisions that Republicans say are non-starters. It's worth noting that Speaker Mike Johnson has said he encouraged Trump not to meet with Democratic leaders, stating it might be a waste of time right now. However, Schumer and Jeffries have pushed back on this, saying they're willing to negotiate and meet anywhere, at any time, to find a bipartisan spending agreement. Now, let's take a closer look at what's at stake here. A government shutdown would not only cause disruptions in various federal services, but also has the potential to impact millions of Americans who rely on these services. As we've seen in the past, such events often have significant political consequences for both sides involved. On one hand, Democrats are banking on voters blaming Trump and Republicans if a shutdown occurs. This could be a strategic move by Democrats to shift public opinion against their opponents. On the other hand, Republicans are taking a hardline stance, refusing to budge on certain issues, even if it means a potential shutdown. As the deadline draws near, it's becoming increasingly clear that both sides will need to make some compromises if they hope to avoid a government shutdown. Will this meeting between Trump and the top 4 congressional leaders be enough to break the impasse? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the outcome of this standoff has significant implications for America's future. That's all for today's episode of Vinzo. Stay tuned for more news analysis and insights that shape our world.